The date is March 5th, 2020. My name is Dexter Powell Jr. And I wrote a letter last night to Kanye West. I'm going to read this letter to you, Kanye, and then after that, I'll give you a little bit of background, more about who I am. So the letter goes, Kanye, you don't know me, and I don't know you, but God has shown me clearly that we will bring billions into a right relationship with Jesus Christ through the ministry of music and the acknowledgement of the Holy Spirit that dwells inside of us. We will shock the world by creating a global heart change movement that will be broadcast around the globe, releasing a new age great revival on this earth, which will first affect hearts and minds globally. But it's going to be our will to stick it out no matter the cost that will ultimately save billions of lives and dreams. Now you ask how? Well, you already have the pulse of multi-generations. And while many hearts are eagerly waiting to fully submit to Christ, they still don't get the full picture that what you are doing is a lifestyle and not a fad. I am 37 years old, and up until 2 months ago, I continued making the same mistakes over and over again, expecting different seasons to present themselves to me. Like I was attending a life auction, hoping that I would be rightly matched with an appropriate season that wasn't as bad as the previous. I've been called by God for many years, but God has shown me my calling, and the journey that He has sent me on often has been full of lies, deceit, addictions, and fear-based decisions and rationalizations, but it was for a purpose. I often wondered why I couldn't stop getting high on pills and crack cocaine as much as I hated what it did to me as a person. I wanted to stop, but I was in too deep and couldn't. I was so fed up with life that I intentionally increased my dosages of Vicodin 10, 325 to 25 pills per day for over a year, trying to help usher me into a slow death daily. But I'd arise day after day sad because now I had to live another day with this addiction, followed by many thoughts of me being a failure since I couldn't even die properly in my sleep. I wanted to slide out of this life so many days and nights for the last 20 years. I wanted nothing more than to have been able to put my sad life behind me. But God had other plans for my life and for the lives across the globe that He predestined for us to impact. Over the last 30 days, every part of my life has changed after beginning a fast with no food and water and herbal tea only. Every single day, the Holy Spirit began to deal with me about areas of darkness that I was holding on to. Now, these areas began affecting my life's output in very detrimental ways that have been unknowingly causing issues internally for years. As I began to release all these different years of abuse, stress, fears, hopes, and dreams that I thought were lost, God began to redeem my life night after night. My thoughts and desires changed. I couldn't listen to anything that was not edifying to the body. I didn't understand the true nature of what was happening to my body. But clearly everything that has happened since the fast is of the Holy Spirit. But I didn't ask for this. I wanted to release my books, travel, tell a few stories. But God said, you'll do all those things, but first I'm sending you on a faith walk. I said, okay, Lord. Not knowing that by stepping out on faith when I did, it would cause me to lose everything. My wife for 14 and a half years, who has stuck with me through cancer diagnosis, and only 9 months after we were married, actually, through many seasons of addictions, including a rock bottom crack addiction 3 years ago, infidelity, so many life changes. But this spiritual journey has taken the cake to all the worldly ways. Now I'm still on my faith walk, but at this time I honestly have nobody left. I came to Georgia because the Lord told me to come to Free Chapel, Jensen Franklin's church in Gainesville. Now I've attended 2 Sundays in a row and they won't even let me speak with him. So I've been praying to the Lord about what's the next move. Now that's where you came in, Kanye. I've been called crazy, bipolar, schizophrenic, lost, stupid for following the voice of God. Now that was just in the last 24 hours. I've heard that I'm having an early midlife crisis all because I'm walking in spirit and truth. I've been laughed out of Detroit because people only see the old man, the sinner, the liar, the man that was going to the crack house. Now I have a hard time understanding that when people look at me and they see the old man, but they have to understand that change is change under the direction of the Holy Spirit. And that's what has happened for me. Over the last month, I have developed a best friend I never knew existed by way of the Holy Spirit. This letter is finding you by way of divine intervention, timing, space, and of course, crazy faith. Now, I'm currently staying by the graces of a gentleman named Dr. Champ in Lake Lanier, Georgia, on a small houseboat on a freezing couch. I've been so grateful for this man, and it was all in God's plans, the way we met, when, and how we did, actually. But I have to get out of here, because there are billions of lives at stake. People are dying and making bad decisions by the second. So if Gainville doesn't want me to speak to their pastor, Jensen Franklin, it's time for me to move on and go directly to the people who need a fresh relationship with the Holy Spirit that exceeds all familial expectations and obligations that have kept us sealed to the ground and stuck in awkward, tough seasons. Kanye, you can have your people vet me, do my background checks. You will see that I'm only a man who has traveled a long road in order to get to the point I'm at now. But it's the most alone I've ever felt. No family support. My own people have left me to sleep in Waffle Houses and Motel 6 lobbies since I've been on this faith walk. But I've never had more peace in my spirit about each day to come. And that's a first in my life. I'd given everything away before I left Detroit, so now I have my 2 journals, driver's license, passport, and my outfit I've been recycling for 12 days. But that's not true, because Dr. Champ gave me an outfit last night to wear, so I'm thankful for that. But no money, but I have so much serenity, finally, in my life for once. And I know that what God has planned is so much bigger than the non-support of the world, including family. Kanye, can I come be with you for a week? Can you put me in a space with the bathroom, shower, and a bed? Allow me to continue seeking God for the great revival that is upon us. Please help me show the world I'm walking in purpose and not some crazy fantasy. I'm a heartfelt speaker who engages in real-life manner that sticks to your ribs and makes you think effectively of how you can instantly begin to shift your heart towards Christ with applicable first-hand knowledge. I've been given a strong voice into the world of addiction, bullying, depression, suicidal attempts, and now the Holy Spirit. I have a page in my journal from days into my fast that I begin to draw out the order of service for this great revival that is going to be aired globally, and it will last for a few days, and it features the Sunday Collective. I'm not insane. I'm not crazy. I'm not bipolar disorder. I don't have schizophrenia. My name is Dexter Powell Jr., also known as I Am Dex Speaks. I've taken the long road to get you this letter. But let's connect forces and trample the plans of the dark side, which is to keep our people locked into their chains of their current existence. I've had every church since coming to Georgia either laugh at me when I say God sent me, or they just don't call me back. For in these last days, they will miss out on God's blessings. Because when I came, they thought I wanted something other than seeing lives restored and destinies discovered. Could you please send for me, Kanye? If you feel I'm an imposter of the faith, you'll be able to tell. You could throw me on the public pedestal of judgment, but none of that will be necessary because I feel that God has knitted our hearts already more than we know. I'll see you soon. I am Dex. And so the Spirit wrote that to you, Kanye, last night. And I think back to 3 years ago when I tried to take my life and held up a gun and pulled the trigger. Couldn't hear. It's like I was deaf, but I wasn't dead. And that was the point. I wanted to be dead, not deaf. Come to find out, the bullet was lodged in a bath towel. I ended up going to a mental hospital. When I was in that mental hospital, I was so broken because I had lost everything, finances, resources. My wife was devastated. Everything was bad. And the Lord woke me up and began to speak to me clearly. And the last time, I'd only heard the audible voice of God one time before this, and that was when he healed me of stage 3 cancer. And the Lord woke me up and he said, from this day forward, no longer will you suffer from the ill effects of this disease. Millions of people are going to be touched by the supernatural healing of your body. And then he told me to go to Luke 7:21. And so at that point in time, that was the first time that I heard God's voice so clearly. Now, the second time that I heard his voice so clearly was August 11, 2017. He says, only because of God's grace and mercy that I am still alive. Oh, how many nights I should have been dead sleeping in my grave, but God is not through with me yet. God said my voice will give hope and love to billions, not by accident. He wouldn't heal me of cancer so I could die from addiction or suicide. My life and legacy has already been played to the fullest extent in God's monitor. I just have to get the picture. Not the full picture, because I couldn't handle it right now, but small segments that begin to replace my fear with faith, my lust to love, my hurts to hopes, and my pain to praise. How can my voice be heard in these last days? It starts with vision. Pray, fast, and meditate on my word. I will give you the picture. I I will show you the strategic moves to make. Dwell in my presence and let the Holy Spirit lead you to the path of righteousness, and I will complete a great work in you. I love you, Dexter. Always have and always will. That's why I created you. Uniquely you. Set apart. One of one. No other in the entire universe like you. I have given you skills and talents that have not even been revealed to you yet. Listen for my voice and follow my lead. My grace is sufficient for all your needs. Listen for my voice always. In all things, study my words and listen to my voice. I dwell in you. I have forgiven you. Forgive yourself. I build the forks in the road. Look up, hold your head up, and know you are my precious creation, who I am well pleased. I love you because you are mine, and the devil can't have you. Worship me and feel my effervescent presence. You know I am with you. Hear my voice, son. I love you. I didn't understand. I just wrote it out. But now, it makes so much sense to me. I'm just walking in purpose. He healed me of cancer. I was morbidly obese from a young age because I had a food addiction. I became first addicted to crack cocaine at 18 years old.